Hello, everyone. And thank you for watching the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday at 4 o'clock. So, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to be here. It is a very exciting time that we're in. Now, I am streaming to Facebook, several pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. And so, where are you watching from? I'd love to know. Put it in the comments. And let's get into the show, my friends. So, we are going to talk about some astrological news right now. We are currently being the 21st of August the sun is in the sign of Leo, but tomorrow and actually 2 a.m. Later tonight into Friday, on the 22nd, the sun goes into the sign of Virgo. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that means. The sun in the sign of Virgo means we're in the time of the year where we celebrate Virgo birthdays. And I've got several friends that have birthdays in September. So happy birthday to them. Now, we also, what's very interesting is that the 22nd, which is tomorrow, a lot of times numerologically, when there's certain dates, those dates, that numerological numbers represent certain things. And being that we've got 22, it's considered a master number. So the master number 22 is considered the master builder or the master architect. And 22 merges the inspirational insight of the 11, the 11, which two ones, which is very spiritual and kind of has to do with kind of channeling spirit, the way I see it. So 22 merges the inspirational insight of the number 11 with the grounded practicality of the number 4, making it exceptionally capable of turning dreams into tangible reality. So we're kind of bringing the spiritual, the unseen, into the physical plane. So this is why it's called the master builder or the master architect number. Now, being that it's composed of two number twos, twos symbolize diplomacy, sensitivity, collaboration. And it's balanced by the essence of 4. When you add the 2 and the 2 together, it comes to number 4. 4 has to do with practicality, organization. So 22 is the combination of intuitive vision and disciplined execution. So kind of, again, bringing the thought or the idea of things into manifestation. So the energy of 22 is geared toward creating structures, systems, or communities that endure. Think tangible legacies serving the greater good. This number channels deep intuition, inner knowing, and spiritual alignment. But it also always has an eye toward earthly manifestation, being that especially now that we're in this sun energy, we're going to be in this energy of Virgo, with the sun being in the sign of Virgo, kind of putting that light into the astrological sign of Virgo. Virgos have to do with practicality and earthly manifestation. So it's really a perfect time to manifest what it is that you want to create in your life. Very positive time. So we talked about the sun. Let's talk about the energy of the moon. We are in the waning phase of the moon just before the new moon that's coming up on Saturday. Actually, it's on the 23rd. So the day after the 22nd at 2:06 p.m. in the sign of Virgo. So we got this double Virgo energy happening, with the sun being in the sign of Virgo and also the new moon being in the sign of Virgo. And new moons have to do with new beginnings. So this is such a perfect time to really, we had this Mercury retrograde. We tied up the loose ends of what was going on in our lives. So now, and we started planning, what are we going to do this next new cycle that's coming up? And it's a lot of new energy. And of course, with people getting ready for school, if they're in that stage of their life, whether you're teaching school or going to school, whether college or, high school or in elementary school, this is the time that we're kind of getting into that mood and starting new beginnings, a new semester, new beginnings. So I always loved school. I love to learn, and it's an exciting time. Now, there are going to be two new moons in the sign of Virgo. The second one is going to happen on September 21st. And in between these two new moons, we've got a total, and that second new moon is actually a solar eclipse on September 21st, which is also around the time of the fall equinox. So this is a very potent time in terms of energy. And right between these two new moons, we've got a total full moon eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So I want to talk a little bit more about, what do we focus on during this Virgo energy? We've got a lot of um, energy happening here with the sun and the new moon being in the sign of Virgo. So what is Virgo all about? These are the areas that we want to focus on. First is physical well-being. Virgo rules the earthly body. So physical well-being, good health habits, and exercise are all great things to start, especially with this new moon energy. So think about that as you're making your plans for this new moon, your new moon intentions. Also, your work or job and specific projects is what Virgo rules as well. Also, getting organized, being efficient, and creating order. This is a great time kind of with we do spring cleaning, but we also do fall cleaning and getting things ready for the fall and clearing things out. We started with the first harvest on Lammas, August 1st. That was the first harvest of our fruits of our labor. Now, as we get closer to the fall equinox, that's like the second harvest festival. So we're in this time of harvesting everything, clearing the clutter, getting rid of, the dead wood and things like that, and starting fresh and new. So creating order, being efficient, very much signs of qualities of the sign of Virgo. Also, an analyst, I guess analyst, focus, and solutions is what we want to focus on, are all Virgo energies. And also connecting to the earth, grounding with the bare feet, being in nature, crystals are all ruled by the sign of Virgo. So hopefully these concepts will give you some idea of what kind of things to focus on during this time of the new moon, and also this 22 portal that we have today, so close to the new moon. So it's really a time to vision what it is and plan what we want for this next cycle. And there's the tip of the week is going to be kind of tying this in a little manifestation technique that you can use to actually kick off your new moon manifestation. So we will talk about that shortly. Now let's shift over and zoom out into the UFO and UAP disclosure area. So big news is that the UAP hearing finally has the date. This public hearing will be happening on September 9th, 2025, which is very interesting because 2025 comes to a number 9. So if you're looking at it, it's a 999 portal. And 9 is the number and energy of conclusions, of wrapping things up. So this is going to be very interesting to see how the hearing goes and what kind of things are going to be revealed during this hearing. And I will, under the program called Disclosure Dialogues, we will be streaming the public hearing live and be doing some pre-show and post-hearing commentary, and also some commentary in between the hearings, but we're going to watch it live. So check that out. I'll give you more information as we get closer to that, but I'll have like 5 different Citizens for Disclosure state leaders joining me to make commentary on what we hear during these live hearings. It's going to be great. So mark your calendars for this historic event where we're going to get more disclosure. And all these whistleblowers that are coming out, my understanding is they're planning on having 5 of them. They're all firsthand experiencers of they've either seen craft, they've experienced, seen physically ETs, and this is more in the military realm and in the defense contractor realm. These whistleblowers are coming out, and they're not just, it's not hearsay, they have direct experience with these biological beings and the craft. So it's going to be very telling. The other thing that's happened this last week, which I think I mentioned because it was just last week, that Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who is the head of the task force for secrets. This is a special committee that's part of the House in Congress. She said on Joe Rogan last week that she saw evidence. She didn't see it for herself, but she saw evidence of ET craft that was not created by man. So she kind of puts it out there. I did watch the whole thing, but I didn't really feel like there was any clips to really show from that. But what I do want to share, something that's new that's coming out, is that Danny Sheehan, who is the president of the New Paradigm Institute, which is the organization that created Citizens for Disclosure, he has a brand new podcast that is now available on Spotify. And I actually have the initial clip or trailer for his podcast, and I'm going to play in a second. So this new podcast is called Full Disclosure with Danny Sheehan, UFOs, Aliens, and Cover-Ups. And let's now switch over. Let me see if I can get my, let's see here. Add to stage, remove, add to stage. Here we go. Let me make it really big. So here is the trailer for Citizens for Danny Sheehan's new podcast. Here it goes.
My name is Danny Sheehan. I'm a constitutional litigator who has tried some of the most important cases in recent American history. From Pentagon Papers, the Watergate scandal, to Iran-Contra. My legal career has led me now to this pivotal moment. As our human family confronts the implications of the existence here on our planet of extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional non-human species. I will be your guide as we dive into the profound philosophical, theological, and public policy questions pertaining to the UFO phenomenon, alien life, and the citizen movement for disclosure. This is the Full Disclosure Podcast, coming to you from the New Paradigm Institute on SpectraVision Radio.
So there you have it. Let me one second here. All right. So that was the new podcast from Danny Sheehan, UFOs, Aliens, and Cover-Ups. And here is a link that will get you to that podcast that's on Spotify. You can listen to just the audio or watch the video. So tinyurl.com/GVTV Sheehan podcast. Sheehan podcast. And that's SHEEHAN podcast. So check it out. It's very exciting that Danny is coming out with this, and we get to really hear from the horse's mouth what is going on as far as UAP disclosure. All right, so let's now talk about Citizens for Disclosure, which again is under the umbrella of the New Paradigm Institute. I'm one of the Florida state coordinators for Citizens for Disclosure. And the way you can get involved is just go to newparadigminstitute.org. You can sign up for their newsletter. You can sign up to become a volunteer. You can donate if you wish to do that. And it's just very exciting. And one of the things that I am doing, and I guess I forgot this graphic, disclosure dialogues, like I said, we're going to do it monthly. And because the live hearings are happening in September, we are going to be restreaming that live and having commentary. So check that out. And if you wanted to see the first one we did in August, it's called Disclosure Dialogues, Voices of Citizens for Disclosure. And so the way you can get to that is tinyurl.com/D disclosure dialogue 1. And that'll be the first episode. And we are streaming the UAP hearings. That'll be episode 2, but it will be available after the fact as a replay if you're not able to watch it live with us. But it's going to be very exciting. The other thing I'm working on, collaborating with Citizens for Disclosure, I'm going to do a series of interviews with people who are experiencers, and that's going to be called Galactic Good Vibes. So look out for that as we get closer. I'm going to be scheduling those interviews in the next couple of weeks. So it's, we've got a lot of exciting times. All right, my friends, let's talk now about the Oracle of the month. And this month's Oracle is the MindScapes Tarot by John A. Rice. So let me pull up my camera here and let's pick a card and see what Spirit would like us to know at this particular time. Oops, I wonder why that's doing that. Let me, see if I can fix this. I think my camera is mirrored, so we'll fix it. There we go. Now you can see it. So this is the booklet, the guidebook for MindScapes Tarot. And so John, he's an artist and he created all the beautiful paintings on here. This is similar to the Tarot, and it's my first time working with this deck. So let's ask Spirit, what is it, Spirit, that you want us to know right now for those watching live and also watching on the replay? So what message does Spirit have for us today? Oh, I like this one. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Number 10 in the Major Arcana deck. And let me read you the message. As you can see there's a spider web, the Wheel of Fortune. So keywords are life cycles, luck, karma, destiny, turning points, adaptability, stability amid movement and change. The planet or zodiac is Jupiter, and the element is fire. And the symbols are rainbow, canopy, so you can see a little rainbow in there, canopy, twisted branches, web, spider, cocooned insects, missing threads, river, and glowing eyes. All right, so description says, a jungle spider sits at the center of a web, which is shaped like a human heart. A rainbow peeks through the canopy, suggesting good luck and positive change. But the surrounding wilderness is both beautiful and deadly. Silk circles represent the cyclical nature of life. What has happened once will happen again. In places, the web is torn, representing hardship. In other places, the spider has stored food, representing bounty. The web hangs precariously between branches over a rushing river, while a predator's watchful eyes glow from the shore. Change is constant. Sometimes you are the spider, sometimes the prey. The surest way forward is to surrender to these natural cycles and trust that the sun will shine again. And the action he has with this card is each day this week, make one decision that deviates from your normal existence. It can be as simple as taking a different route to work in the morning. What do you notice? How do you feel? Change can be scary, but it can also open us to new opportunities and insights. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune card traditionally in the tarot deck has to do with the wheel changing, kind of the wheel of the year, changing cycles. And it's usually into the positive. If the card maybe was upside down, then it might be on a negative, but the Wheel of Fortune is usually a very positive card, meaning positive change and it's a fortune, things working out for you. So that is the card. And if you have any insights into this card, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'd love to know what you're thinking about it and what insight you get. Okay, so next let's talk a little bit about spiritual activism. Oops, not that one. This one. Whoops. Gosh. One day I'll get this right. All right. So, spiritual activism. Again, I love to encourage everyone. And this is based on a prompt from Pamela Gregory, the um, um, astrologer from the UK. She recommended that every day, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and whatever time that translates, wherever you're watching from, to meditate and send love and light to the planet for just 15 minutes. And just taking this spiritual action it's a form of activism. We can, and I've talked about the different protests that are happening. There was one this past Saturday. There's a lot going on in the United States, and I really feel that we need to be aware of what's happening and stand up for what's right. When I see the military in the streets arresting Americans, people that they say, oh, there might be, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. And we have to stand up for it. And I'm really encouraged by what Governor Gavin Newsom is doing, fighting fire with fire. So, you can fight fire with fire, but you can also do things spiritually to send that love and light to the planet. It does make a difference. So I'm just going to share that with you right now. Now, next up, let's talk about longevity with light. We had the event last week on Thursday, and it was about the Ice Wave patch, which is for pain specifically. This is a lightweight patch that LifeWave is the company that makes these patches. It's a patented product, and it's actually, I have one here. I'm wearing carnosine, which is for the brain. So I use that for my brain and organs to activate processes in the body that help support my brain. And, the stem cell one that I wear on the back of my neck, that's to activate my stem cells. So it's actually a reverse aging type process. So hopefully you see me growing younger as these shows progress. But if you want to see the episode from last week, just go to tinyurl.com/capital LWL and then Ice Wave, and you'll be able to see it. Our next one will be happening on September 11th at 8 o'clock. If you want to mark your calendars, we're going to be talking about this Silent Nights patch, which has to do with helping you sleep. So, these patches are really a beautiful way to use it uses the light from our body, our infrared light, to activates the patch and reflects back light to our body, certain frequencies that activates it's called photobiomodulation, kind of like how the sun helps, activates the body to create vitamin D, same kind of thing, but for specific physiological processes to help us, be healthy and for whatever the patch is specifically for. So next up, let's talk about the tip of the week to raise your vibration. And I love doing these because it's really a challenge every week to come up with a new way to raise our vibration. Last week's tip was to cancel out negative thoughts as they happen. And I like to use the word cancel. So a negative thought comes into our mind, or we say it we say it and we catch ourselves saying something negative like, oh, I'm lazy, or whatever negative thing it could be. And you say, no, cancel, and say, no, I have all the energy I need to get what I need to get done, or whatever it is. When you have a negative thought, the best thing to do is flip it and transform that negative thought to the other side. We're in this world of polarity, of duality. So yeah, if there's a negative, change it to a positive affirmation. And this is the way we can reprogram our brains and our minds and our beings to positive actions, which are the higher vibrations, which are the good vibes. So if we're living in that good vibe zone, we're putting out those good vibrations. Being at that frequency, we're going to attract things of like. It's a law of attraction. Like attracts like. So if we're vibing higher, we're going to attract things that match that frequency. And this is a trick to the law of attraction. So this week's tip of the week has to do, it's a special manifestation technique. It's a water manifestation technique. And I haven't talked about this before. This is where we are speaking our intentions to a glass of water, and then we're drinking it. Water, we're made of anywhere from 70 to 90% water. And like when we wear the patches, it's so important to drink water besides just helping us to detoxify, our water, our bodies, our cells need that water to be the most efficient and work effectively. But we can charge our water, program our water, and Professor Dr. Emoto, Masaru Emoto, who did all those studies with uh, putting intentions on water, freezing it, and then looking at the crystals and all the positive ones, you could see there were these beautiful crystals, but negative words that were on these water would be these horrible, like ugly crystals. So it was kind of like a scientific way of showing that, our intention, our words that we put on the water, how we charge it, makes a difference and changes the structure of the water. And so as we drink that, we're imbuing our whole system with that same intention. So this is how we do it. First, you want to set a clear intention. And because we got the new moon coming up in, just in 2 days, in the sign of Virgo, again, planning, and it's a new moon, so it's time for new intentions. Write down your intentions, and it could be, just an affirmation, or it could be a whole state of being, however involved you want to get with it. So, if you are looking for a specific affirmation, some examples are: I am financially free. I'm financially abundant. I attract loving and supportive relationships. I am healthy and full of vitality. Or just describe your ideal life and just write that down, and that's called a treatment. So any of those things, you can actually, first decide what is the intention and make sure that it's clear. Then the second thing you want to do is prepare your water. So you want to use a clean glass or a bottle filled with the water. And you can write the affirmation on a piece of paper or tape it to the glass or place it underneath the glass. You can also prepare the water by charging it in the sunlight. So do this outside, under the moonlight, but we won't have a full moon for a couple of weeks. So I would say the sun, be out in the sun, let the sun infuse the water and charge the water, and have your affirmation there, or your treatment, put your water over it. Then the next step is to infuse the water with your intention. So you can say your affirmation out loud, hold the glass of water, or it could be a bowl of water too, or a bottle of water. Glass and something natural is always better than plastic. Hold it in both hands and speak your affirmation or intention either aloud or silently. Then visualize the outcome vividly, as real as you can feel it, and feel the emotions associated with its realization. So, charge the water with it, see it like kind of your intention coming out through your hands into the water, say it, speak to the water, say the positive affirmations. You're infusing the water, you're charging it, you're programming the water with your intention. And do that for as long as you get to the peak of the feeling of what it is that you want to create. Then the next step is to consume the water or use it. Now, you don't have to drink it if you don't want to. Some people, you may want to sprinkle it in your space or put it in a spray bottle and spray, the area that's kind of related to your intention or something. But really drinking it, at least part of it, would be great, to drink it slowly and maintain focus on your intention. You can also use the water to wash your hands or put it on your face or sprinkle it in the living space to spread the energy. So that is the tip of the week. And I hope you, try it. I'm going to do it as well in coordination with the new moon as I set up my intentions for this new cycle, and know that this new moon cycle, you're kind of planting the seeds for the harvest, say in October. So we kind of go through a full cycle of new moon to full moon, back to new moon. So my friends, I want to thank you for watching today. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with other friends that you think need a boost of good vibes or can resonate to some of the information here. And I want to say thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you. And, we're all in this together. So just be the best that you can be, shine your light, and be the light. So peace out, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Take care.